Welcome back to part 5 of the Mustang. Today I want to be putting the thermostat housing, water pump, belt system, stuff like that. Alright, so this is the old thermostat junk. Corroded all to get out. We don't want that. So we decided to opt for a new one. This is a Edelbrock. Comes with new bolts, new seal. Pretty nice unit. Take a peek at that bad boy. You know you love that. That's automatic 5 horsepower right there. You know what I don't like? I don't think it matters because it's just recirculation. But let's take a peek at the size difference. Sorry, let me see here. At the size difference between this size and this size. Nothing to fear though. It's just recirculation. But pretty bad unit right here. I'm loving how this seal works instead of a gasket. Hoping that this is what I can run. This is awesome. Yeah, that's cool. I'm totally digging the seal. That's awesome. Cool beans. All right, moving on. The water pump here. New gasket. I've got like 3 gaskets for this pump. Don't need all 3, obviously. I've ended up with 3 between the master kit that the engine came from the machine shop with that we installed, and the one that the pump came with and everything. Anyway, but I just clear coated the water pump because I didn't want it to rust, but I like the look. The shop, like the look of the painted, of like the factory, of the regular colored metal. That's what I'm trying to say. But anyway, so moving on. So we're gonna be doing that. That's what I got on the table right here for y'all to see. Throw this in the trash. So, like I said, we'll be moving from this into the belt system, hopefully. Previous part had headers being installed and the engine mounts being assembled and put into the car. Well, I'll rip it in, just showing you that they're in. But anyway, it's coming together. I'm loving the way that it's looking in there, and it's gonna be a really nice car. It already is a nice car, beautiful car, and perfect car, and pretty pumped about getting this back on the road. But as soon as I get done with that, we have the Jeep inside. It's officially inside. It's gonna get worked on soon. That's awesome. I am pumped to start working on that too. Then charger, I need to finish wiring harness on. It's just kind of on the back burner. I've been so tied up with everything else. And then the Trans Am, we've almost got it assembled. My brother's been working his butt off on that. That's gonna be a slick unit. All right, stay tuned. I'm gonna put a video out of it done. Now we're not fully restoring that car. My brother is just doing the paint job to it. That's all he's doing. And then soon I'd like to post some videos of the Coyote Swap Galaxy, 65 Galaxy going on. So yeah, and then I'm gonna do you some tours. We have a 6.0 LS Trans Am out back, 500 horsepower NA with a chopper copper cam. I'm talking about a hot rod. You understand? Stay tuned. That's coming soon. I'm definitely doing a review. Might even have the brother on the channel to show it off. So we'll see what happens there. He might not want to be, but got my Mountain Dew. So we are ready to attack this thermostat housing. Stay tuned. This is going to be fun. Thermostat housing on, brand new. I used thread sealant on this top bolt because it's an open void into this coolant journal. And then on the bottom bolt, I just used Loctite, and that's ensuring it doesn't back out, but that's a closed cavity that's in, so it shouldn't risk leaking any coolant. So got that installed, and now I'm going to be working on the water pump. It'll get RTV on the gasket just around these ports. So yeah, we're gonna get RTV on that gasket and then install that pump. the water pump on, torque down, alternator bracket on, power steering pump on. I'm gonna look into this hose about maybe putting a new one on, because that's how the hose pump was on. It was just like barely on at the end of the hose, and it's like eating into it, and I really don't like the way that looks. So I'm gonna look into probably a new hose there. But other than that, everything's looking good on the front end stuff, and yeah, so that's where we're at. All right, I know I jumped around a little bit in this video. We were working on the water pump and looked at that power steering line the last clip. I ran into a little bit of a problem. The intake that we had wasn't going to work because it sat too high, being an air gap, as you see here. And the air gap is actually allowing, cool air to enter under the intake journals and cool the air down so you can get a cooler air into your engine. And really, it's great design. It works great. But the problem with it is we're so limited on space in this car that we can't run it. I mean, it had the carburetor without a breather on it touching the bottom of the hood. And so what we found out was, from the factory setup intake to this air gap, there's 3 inches of difference between where the carburetor lays and where it does on a factory style intake. So what we ordered was this style. This is a non-air gap. The carburetor sits a lot lower. Everything's integrated into itself. Looks great. It's still aluminum. It's still lighter than what it came with from factory. It's still going to work with the 4-barrel. It's just all around a better intake than what was on factory. Yes, we're losing the air gap, which is a bummer, but it's okay. We'll just need to swap over our billet thermostat housing and thermostat to the new intake, plug the holes with the supplied plugs, and yeah, hopefully our audio is better. I got a mic for my birthday along with a media mod, so everything's working together. It seems like everything sounds like it's looking fine from what I've tested with, and I hope it's better for y'all. So I'm gonna install this one and we'll go from there. All right, so I know this video has been all over the place. Sorry about that. But we have the intake on. A lot of the belt stuff is on. The new condenser arrived today. So I'll be installing the new condenser that'll allow me to move to the radiator and so on and so forth. There's a couple things I want to address. I want to address how the carburetor linkage is hitting the valve cover. I believe we're just going to shave an ear off of the linkage, which shouldn't be a problem. Should work fine that way. And after that, need to put it at top dead center and then install a distributor, and we'll go from there. So let me get you in here, show you that linkage hitting and what that looks like, and then we'll put the condenser in and then the radiator. So you can see right there, the bottom of the linkage is interfering with the valve cover. So probably gonna just snip the little ear off the bottom of that linkage and make that look right and move on from that, so we don't have to fight that. But I think we're still gonna attempt to run the factory breather, so we'll just have to make modifications to the breather in itself, possibly be running a small air filter on it and then cut out the breather and then place it around. I think the HEI is really where my problem is gonna be at on trying to get the breather to work. So we'll cross that bridge whenever we get there. As of right now, I'm going to work on the condenser. Alright, so we got the new condenser in. I went ahead and put the radiator in. Sorry for that time lapse being kind of cut short there, but it took a lot more than I thought. I had to take the grill out, had to remove all of the hood latch assembly and everything like that. Had to remove the power steering pump, power steering line, cooler, everything like that. Had to get pushed out to the side and for the condenser to make its way out and make the new one in. And then I had to do some modifications to the new condenser, such as cutting this bracket back, drilling new holes in the bottom, and making it fit right. So let me bring you over here, let me show you what's going on. Here we have the radiator in along with the new condenser, as you can see down in there. This is the modification I'm talking about. I had to cut part of this bracketry out, which is fine. It does not change anything structural to the condenser. And then the lower brackets, I had to drill new holes because they were misaligned. I did raise them up like they like it intends you to, but then it puts it way too high. So that's not a problem though. So next we're going to be dealing with the carburetor linkage. We're going to be getting the fan and stuff like that back in, along with the fan shroud. And yeah. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. This video was showcasing the new condenser along with the radiator being installed and the brand new intake. Remember, we moved away from the air gap because of the height problems. Now, like I said, we're having linkage issues. Nothing we are not going to be able to overcome. It'll all be fixed. It'll be perfect. Customer's going to love it. Promise. I'm excited to get this car back to the customer. Him and his son really care about this car, and I love the passion they have for it. And I appreciate them very much as customers. And I appreciate y'all for every single view and subscribe y'all give me. Thank you so much. Make sure to like and subscribe on this one. We are almost to 100 subscribers, and I'll be pumped to get there. Thank y'all so much. Have a good day.